Hi, this is Allison Field, and I want to welcome you to my Create Your Blank vlog, where I explore topics that help you align your mind, body, and spirit so that you're able to create your blank and do and have a beautiful life. So, today's topic is values how that leads to inspired action. So the last blog that I did was all about explaining how I think values are key to helping you be most aligned with the life that you love. So inspired action, once you're aligned with your values and you know what they are, and I invite you to go back and listen to the other vlog where I explain all about the values, and you're able to do your assessment and come up with your magic top 10 values. And when you align with those, you're going to feel a lot of ease and flow and satisfaction and happiness and joy just in day to day because you're doing what charges you up the most. And it's really key and important to kind of look at that. So, inspired action is the how part. So, who you are and what you're doing out in the world, whatever your blank is your who and your what. How is always an interesting topic because you know we always say spiritually you let spirit or Gus support you in guiding you into the how, and you're not supposed to be thinking about it or focused on it. And that is true. At the same time, I use my intuition and my higher self and Gus to support me in guiding the how, which guides me in inspired action. And if I'm taking action from my head, I'm thinking about it, I'm evaluating it, although that's helpful. Getting the hit or the idea for the action, I believe, comes from spirit. And then once you have that idea or inspiration and you're taking action, then it's from your higher self, not from your head, not from your ego. Because when you operate from there, you're not aligned with your values. You're not aligned with your highest self. So that's why inspired action is so cool, and that's why I use it. And so you don't need to know the whole blank when you're working on your blank. You don't need to know how. And I do this every day. I will sit, make my tea, sit down, do a meditation, and I ask for guidance. And I'll take notes right after and write down anything that comes to mind. Because when that pops in your head, whatever it is, guess what? That is spirit. That is Gus. And I know in the past, I've often not even paid attention to that. Pushed it aside, pretend it wasn't there. But the cool thing is it's right in front of us and it's available to all of us. And I invite you just to practice and play with it and just see how it shifts and changes your whole world, because your whole world is going to be operating from your higher self, your higher mind. And we have everything within us to know and guide us along our way. And when we listen to it, when we tune in and listen to it, magic happens. So, really, really cool to do that and to practice that. And you can sit for 1 minute, 2 minutes, if you're a seasoned meditator. I like to do, 20, 30, 40 minutes if I have time. Most of the time I stick to 20 because just time wise, but you can do it any way you want to do it. I use Insight Timer, which is a meditation app. And they have thousands of teachers and different meditations for all different categories of spiritual support. So I invite you to play with it and look at it and just start tuning into what inspired actions you can take that are aligned with your values and that put you at the most fun and ease. And I have to tell you, along creating my blank, I have 5 or 6 sometimes iterations of something because something was off, and I'm tuning in, and it feels off. It doesn't feel right. It feels hard. I feel, different kind of emotions around it. And so that's the first indicator to me to look within and say, okay, so what's off? And me to take responsibility for whatever is off and let it guide me to inspired action to make adjustments so that it feels better. Because I don't know about you, but for me, it's important to feel better. I mean, that's my number one goal, is to feel better. And so when I'm not, I can look within and see what actions I can take, to inspired actions to take to move the needle a little bit more forward. So try that on and play with it. And it builds, once you do it and practice and you have evidence, it builds your trust. Because I don't know about you, I just didn't trust that my guides were available to me at all times. And I always thought they were busy helping other people, and they are. But our guides are there for us. So it's either a higher mind or Gus or whatever you want to call it. When we ask our guides, they respond. And so go into your meditations and ask a specific question around something you need more information about. Like I'll do that before I go to bed, or when I'm doing my meditation, and I'll ask, what's the next best thing? What do I need to know about this really hard thing that I'm experiencing? And you can say what it is and talk about it, and then wait and listen for the answer. That's the key. That's what builds trust, is you have to listen for the answer and act on it. So what I try to do is write them all down, or put them in my notes, voice notes in my phone, and then to track it, and then play with it and have fun. I would love to hear any stories that you have of, aha moments, that have happened as a result of you taking on inspired action. Thanks for watching. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I'll see you next time.